Music, dance, and art of all kinds play a huge role in Buddhist cultures all over the world, and it's a big topic to cover. In this course, you'll be getting a bit of an introduction to the great diversity of music, artistic, and movement-based practices in Buddhist traditions, and how they interact with each other and with other aspects of Buddhism. We'll start with an article by Dr. Sarah Shaw, published on the British Library series on sacred texts, on Buddhist meditation and chanting. She talks about the use of Buddha images and visualization in meditation. Some of you might be familiar with meditation practices that ask you to focus on the breath as a way of training the mind to focus on a single object of attention. Buddha images and pictures can also be used for meditation. Sometimes images are objects of devotion for people to venerate with offerings of flowers or incense, for example. An image of a Buddha can also be an object of focus during meditation. Chanting can also be a key part of meditation practices, and you've heard many of these kinds of chants of praise to the Buddha so far in this course. Chanting can also focus the mind, and in a way it also focuses the body on a devotional object like the Buddha. You'll go into more detail on the role of chanting and music in Buddhism when you read Paul Green's essay on contemporary Buddhist chanting and music. This is a great survey of so many diverse practices of music, sound, and chanting in Buddhist cultures. He covers all kinds of related practices, which include things like proclaiming, memorizing, and contemplating the Dharma, signaling transitions in rituals, repeating mantras, narrating Jataka tales, cultivating a sense of community within a Buddhist lay group, and performing processional music to glorify shrines. Paul Green's essay has an important section on how music plays a role in Buddhist lay people's lives. And once you've read through this section and learned about some of these forms of music and what they're called, you can find so many examples of these if you search on YouTube. Paul Green's essay also talks about the different kinds of instruments that are used in Buddhist cultures. For example, instruments made of skulls and human bones, which he says can inspire in a direct and tangible way contemplation of a dead human body. He explains that contemplating the body's transitory nature through music can be part of a mental discipline of overcoming attachment to it. And speaking of bringing music and religion into the body, this essay also explains a bit about Buddhist dances called cham in Tibetan. These are elaborate, large-scale public dramas where monks and lay people enact compassionate and wrathful demons, deities, animals, and other characters. You'll have a chance to watch a couple of documentary films on this form of dance and music. One is both a talk and a film screening of a film called Sacred Buddhist Dance with Binoy Patel, who's a really important art heritage writer and filmmaker whose groundbreaking work has been screened all over the world. The other film is The Celestial Dance of Bhutan, which gives you another view of this kind of dance and performance tradition. As an example of another form of contemporary Buddhist dance, we'll then read a short article by Miranda Shaw on Tantric Buddhist dances of Nepal. These are contemplative and yogic dance practices of the Tantric Buddhist priests there who are called Vajracharyas. And Shaw's article connects this practice specifically to the practice of cultivating compassion. The Charya dance used to be transmitted secretly, but at the end of the 20th century, several Vajracharya priests decided to reveal their sacred dance practice to a public audience. Shaw explains that the purpose of tantric dance is to transform the quality of one's bodily presence on earth. Dancers adopt the form of a deity, and they kind of channel the presence of the deity in their movements. How the dancer moves, slowly, smoothly, with strength, is supposed to be how the deity moves. Shaw's article explains how this can enable the dancer to embody certain divine qualities like compassion. How does compassion appear in the body? She explains, for example, that whereas compassion has an open, expansive, flowing quality, a failure of compassion is accompanied by bodily sensations of contraction, such as tightening, hardening, or shrinking into a small sense of self. Maybe you can imagine that kind of experience in your own body. Bodily transformation is at the center of the Tantric Buddhist path of practice. And so the goal of Charya dance, Shah suggests, is to become an enlightened and enlightening presence on earth. Finally, you'll have a chance to watch a recording of a panel that took place at a 2019 conference on Buddhism, contemporary art, and social practice in Victoria. This conference was a little different than most academic conferences and was meant to be conversational and experiential, incorporating some art installations and performances alongside academic lectures. So it sounds like a really neat event. And I encourage you to look at the webpage for the event that tells you more about what went on there. The speakers and artists in the panel that you'll watch talk especially about the complexity of their intersectional identities and how Buddhism played a role in their work and their thinking.